1974. Like most years, it consisted of 365 days. However, they were not the most ordinary 365 days. It was a year in which political chaos seemed to be the overriding theme of each and every day. It was a year in which a trip to the supermarket became an adventure. A year in which a Sunday afternoon drive became a distant memory from the past. So while words such as recession and depression became part of our daily vocabulary, while prices spiraled and pocketbooks shrunk, there was very little to cheer about. Except, that is, in the world of sport. For sports, it was a year of change, big changes. There was Hank Aaron tearing down a legend, the Boston Celtics returning to their throne, the Philadelphia Flyers showing us that expansion just might work, the Miami Dolphins and the Oakland A's keeping their dynasties intact, and the UCLA Bruins having theirs come to an end. However, it was not a year without its pitfalls. There was the creation of the World Football League, coming at a time when the subtraction of teams seemed more appropriate than the addition of teams. There was an NFL players' strike coming at a time when few Americans could sympathize with them. However, in the end, the pluses were far greater than the minuses, and made 1974 another year worth remembering in the world of sports. The New Year started the way all New Years start in the world of sports, with the bowl games. The biggest game on January 1st, 1974 was the Rose Bowl, where the Ohio State Buckeyes were taking on the Trojans of Southern California. Although a Big Ten team had failed to win in the Rose Bowl since 1969, the Buckeyes came into this game a determined group of athletes and proved it on the field. Advocators of the running game, Ohio State introduced an aerial attack and proceeded to demolish USC 42-21. For the Buckeyes, there were many stars this day. Quarterback Cornelius Green, freshman running back Pete Johnson, and All-America Archie Griffin, whose 47-yard run in the fourth quarter was a thing of beauty and a joy forever.
Just in case Green might go to the air, Bartosik is wide to the right, but there's Griffin bursting to the 40, the 35, the 30, cuts back, he's at the 25, the 20, on his feet at the 15, the 10, the 5, touchdown Ohio State. What a run by Archie Griffin. What a fitting tribute to one of the best backs we've ever seen. 47 yards, and Griffin breaking tackles, reversing his field, hustled into the end zone, and the Buckeyes have turned it into a rout.
13 days later, the boys who play for pay had their day in the sun. It was Sunday, January 13th, and the Minnesota Vikings and the Miami Dolphins were meeting at Houston's Rice Stadium for Super Bowl VIII. Although both teams finished the season with identical records of 12-2, there was little doubt as to which was the superior team, and the Dolphins proved it on this overcast afternoon. Miami took the opening kickoff and marched down the field in 10 plays for the first score of the afternoon. Larry Zonka did the honors.
So it's first and goal from the 5 as Greasy splits his running backs. Morris on the right, Zonka on the left. Now sending Warfield in motion toward the left side. It's Zonka straight up the middle, and he's got the touchdown. Larry Zonka carries it in from 5 yards out, and the Dolphins have scored first. Now with Earl Morrow to hold, we have Garo Yepremian in to try the extra point, as the Dolphins, here in their third consecutive Super Bowl and trying to win for the second straight time, have scored first. The kick is up, and it is good. So the score now, the Dolphins 7 and Minnesota nothing. There's a timeout on the field with that score.
After Minnesota failed to move the ball on their first possession, the Dolphins took over and once more moved down the field in methodical fashion. This time it was Jim Kick's turn.
Zonka and Kick are the running backs at this stage. They use Morris for the open field area. So it's second down now. Zonka on the left, Kick on the right. Coming in motion is Warfield. The handoff to the second man, Kick, and again stacked up, but touchdown this time. He just did sneak it over for the Dolphins' second touchdown.
The Dolphins made it 17-0 in the second quarter on a Garo Yepremian field goal. Then in the third quarter, Miami upped its lead to 24-0. When Larry Zonka, who was to be the game's MVP after rushing for 145 yards, scored his second touchdown of the afternoon.
Second down at the 2-yard line. Greasy turning around to check his running backs. Looks as though he's almost talking to Zonka. Now he hands off to Zonk, heading right side. Touchdown, Larry Zonka. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins, if they haven't already, have now established clear superiority in this game. 8:44 left in the third period.
In for the extra point.
Yepremian tries it. It is good. There's a pause in the action with the score. Miami Dolphins 24, Minnesota Vikings nothing.
The Vikings finally got on the board in the fourth quarter when Fran Tarkenton scored from 4 yards out.
Tarkenton over Tingelhoff, rolling to the right side. Plenty of blockers, wants to take it himself, and does!
He looked like Larry Zonka that time, Andy. That was that play we saw in the beginning. Quarterback rollout. Tucked the ball under his arm and headed for that goal line.
Fran Tarkenton from the 3-yard line carries it in himself for the touchdown. And the Vikings are on the board for the first time today with 13:25 left in the game. It's been a frustrating afternoon for them, and they've got to feel a lot better now, although the comeback still has a long way to go. And here is Fred Cox, who kicked 33 consecutive extra points during the year, tacking on another one here with 13:25 left in the game. There's a timeout on the field with the score, the Dolphins 24 and the Vikings 7.
With the clock working against them, the Vikings tried to make a game of it. After taking the ball over on their own 3-yard line, they moved all the way down to the Dolphins' 32, only to have their last ray of hope extinguished by a Curtis Johnson interception that cemented a 24-7 Dolphins victory.
Lash back as the wide receiver again on the left side. Undoubtedly Tarkenton to throw here as he drops back, looks left, waits, now fires left side, and it is intercepted at the goal line. Curtis Johnson has the ball on the interception. The first turnover of the day. He is dragged down at the 10-yard line as Tarkenton has coughed up the ball for the first time. Gilliam was his intended receiver, but Johnson picked it off.
However, January did not belong to football alone. No, sir, not by a long shot. The new year was hardly 11 days old when John Havlicek of the Boston Celtics became only the 8th player in NBA history to score 20,000 points in a career.
90-75. Boston is now trailing by 15. Out to Havlicek. The shot is good. And it's 20,000 points. 20,000 points for John Havlicek. Now Bridges gives the ball to Goodrich. And he stumbles, picks it up, shoots, it's blocked. And we got a foul being called by Mark Claflin. They give the ball to Havlicek now. They stop the play. They give the ball to John Havlicek. They couldn't stop it when it was Los Angeles ball. But everybody congratulating John, even the other team. A standing ovation for John Havlicek, 20,000 points. What a career. Tommy Heinsohn comes out to shake his hand. A battery of photographers out there. Bill Bridges walks over to shake his hand. 20,000 points. In a spectacular career for Johnny Havlicek.
However, the first big sports story of 1974 occurred on the afternoon of January 19th in South Bend, Indiana. The UCLA basketball team, winners of 88 straight games, were taking on the Irish of Notre Dame. For the first time in 3 years, the UCLA Bruins would taste defeat. And oddly enough, it would come at the hands of the same team and on the same floor where it last happened.
34, 33, 32, 31. That's Clay to score! It's the same shot he made against North End. 25 seconds left. The first time the Irish have led in the game, 71-70, timeout. So Notre Dame has 21 seconds to kill, and if they do, they sign the death warrant to the 88-game winning streak of the UCLA Bruins. We'll watch the clock, 17 seconds. Walton knocked away by Shoemate, and he pulls it back to Curtis. Curtis shoots. He forced a bad shot. Rebound Brokaw, 7, 6. They lost it. They lost it out of bounds with 6 seconds remaining in the game. 6 seconds remaining. Notre Dame 71, UCLA 70 with 6 seconds left. Into Walton. He can't score. Cernovich, Myers, Shoemate. It's all over. Notre Dame has won the game. The number 1 ranked UCLA Bruins have been upset by the Irish of Notre Dame. 71-70, the longest winning streak in collegiate sports history has ended where it began 3 years ago. Unbelievable.
Despite that loss and 2 more subsequent defeats, UCLA was still considered the odds-on favorite to capture their 8th consecutive NCAA basketball championship. Their sternest competition figured to come from the North Carolina State Wolfpack, whose lone defeat in the 1973-74 season came at the hands of those same UCLA Bruins. On Saturday, March 23rd, the two teams met in the NCAA semifinal playoffs in Greensboro, North Carolina. In what was to become one of college basketball's greatest games, the Wolfpack of North Carolina State, after being down by 7 points in a second overtime, exploded and defeated UCLA 80-77 in one of the greatest sports upsets.
2.5 minutes left in this second overtime. Tao bouncing one out to Thompson. Wolfpack trailing by 4. Thompson back to Tao. Tao starts up the lane, fires a jumper, and he missed it. Tapped up by Burleson. Tommy Burleson with a tremendous tap in. 75-73. Ball into Walton, 75-73. UCLA leading by 2. Here's a pass down to Myers in the left corner. Myers holds it up. They're going to bring it out and sit on it. 2 minutes left into Walton now. UCLA will not take a shot unless they are clear underneath the basket. There's one that was stolen away. Knocked away. Picked up by Mo Rivers. Rivers has the ball at midcourt now. Bouncing it off to Stoddard. Stoddard looking. Goes to Thompson. Thompson on the right sidelines. Gives it off to Monty Tao. Back it goes to Burleson. Burleson moving on Walton. Underneath. Shoots. He misses. Foul called on Walton. His second. Burleson will get 2 free throws. All right. Burleson up there. 2 big ones for the big guy. And he makes it. 75-74. UCLA lead at 1 point now. 1 minute 38 seconds left in the second overtime. Tommy Burleson has hit on 20 points. His second free toss is a little long. Rebound, Timmy Stoddard. The Wolfpack has the ball. Stoddard to Burleson. He shoots and he misses it. Tap back out, and it's Rivers' ball. Wolfpack still has it. All right, they'll try to set it up a little better this time. 1.5 minutes left. Rivers with the ball. Starts a drive toward the left corner. Passes off to Timmy Stoddard. Stoddard down the baseline. He's guarded closely. To Tao. Fires to the left corner and misses it. Rebound, won by UCLA. Foul. Wolfpack foul on Timmy Stoddard of NC State, and he fouls out of the ball game. All right, Myers' free toss is no good. Thompson, rebound over everybody. Gives it to Monty Tao. Cross to Rivers. Wolfpack with 1:10 left. Down in the front court. Rivers with the ball. Gives it to Phil Spence, who replaced Tim Stoddard after Timmy fouled out. Now goes to David Thompson, left side of the circle. He's against Keith Wilkes. Dribbling out behind the key. Starts to move down the left side. He shoots over Wilkes and hits. Wolfpack leads. 76-75 on David Thompson's basket. 26 points for him. 45 seconds left in the second overtime. Keith Wilkes across midcourt. Passes over to Greg Lee on the left sidelines. Lee trying to get it to Walton. Bounces it into Bill Walton. Back out to Lee. He fires the 25-footer and he misses it. Rebound Keith Wilkes. He pushed. Keith Wilkes fouled. His 5th. That's all for Keith Wilkes. He fouls out with 34 seconds left in the second overtime. Well, I tell you, these are big ones now. David Thompson with a 1-and-1. It's in the air, and it is good. State 77, UCLA 75. You don't mind if I scream, do you? Thompson's bonus is in the air. It's good. Wolfpack 78, UCLA 75. 33 seconds left. There's a ball stolen away by Rivers. He lost it out of bounds. A great play by Mo Rivers as he knocked the ball away from Greg Lee. It'll be UCLA ball at midcourt. 29 seconds left in the second overtime. NC State 78, UCLA 75. The Wolfpack with a 3-point lead. They were down by 7 in this overtime. Greg Lee will make the inbounds pass. It comes to Walton. Stolen away by Burleson. Tommy got it. It's picked up by Mo Rivers. Tommy Burleson with a steal. Passes off that of Monty Tao. 23 seconds. 22. David Thompson with the ball. Thompson is fouled, but he does no call. Goes to Tao. Monty Tao with it now. Monty knocked away and foul on Curtis. 12 seconds left. Monty goes to the free throw line. 5 on Curtis. He fouls out of the ball game. Monty Tao will be at the free throw line for a 1-and-1. There it is. It's in the air. It is good. The Wolfpack 79, UCLA 75. All right. Here's Monty's bonus. Good. 80-75. Here's Greg Lee across midcourt. 10 seconds left. Greg Lee passing to Walton. He tries a shot. He hits. And the score is 80 to 77. 2 seconds. 1 second. The Wolfpack go to a timeout. Excuse me, timeout with 1 second left. UCLA has called timeout. It'll be Wolfpack ball, however, when play is resumed. No, wait a minute. No timeout. Hold it. A foul was called. A UCLA foul on Dave Myers. And the Wolfpack has won it. NC State has defeated UCLA. Tommy Burleson will be at the free throw line. It doesn't matter a bit whether he makes it or whether he doesn't. 80-77 the score. All right, Burleson on the free throw line for a 1-and-1. He'd love to make them. It's in. He misses it. Rebound Myers. The ball game is over. The Wolfpack of North Carolina State has defeated UCLA, and the Wolfpack goes into the championship game against the Marquette Warriors. Final score in 2 overtimes. North Carolina State 80, UCLA 77.
With the UCLA dynasty now in ruins, North Carolina State returned 2 nights later to knock off a vastly undermanned Marquette Warrior team and capture the NCAA basketball championship.
24 seconds left. 74-62, a 12-point lead. And here comes Al McGuire down to shake Norman Sloan's hand. Al McGuire goes down and shakes Norman's hand. Their free throw is missed by Tao. Grabbed off by Walton. He goes all the way down the lane, puts a layup, blocked by Thompson. Goaltending. Oh, Thompson gives him a thrill as he blasted it out of there. 74-64. Wolfpack lead at 10. 18 seconds left as Walton comes up with another basket. He hadn't scored until he came in last time. He has 8 points. Rivers is bottled up and finally fouled by Holman. 14 seconds left. The game now is being prolonged by Marquette fouls. And Coach Al McGuire now is calling Monty Tao over. Shakes his hand. I'll say one thing for Al McGuire. He is a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde if I have ever seen one. He was a tyrant, but when it was all over, he becomes a gentleman. Rivers at the free throw line makes the first one. 75-64. Now the bonus for Rivers has really come alive in the second half. Has 13 points. His free throw makes it 14. 76-64. The crowd is rather quiet now. Washington front court throws it out of bounds. I don't know who he intended it for, but it went up in about the 3rd or 4th row down here to our left. 8 seconds to play. The Wolfpack ball in the backcourt. I would think that Marquette would just sort of fall off here and not have any fouls in the backcourt. 6, 5. Thompson trying to get away. Gets the pass away to Tao. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. Burleson shot is missed. Ball game is over. Wolfpack, national champions. They have done it. The Wolfpack has won the national championship. The final score, NC State 76, Marquette 64.
Meanwhile, up at Madison Square Garden in New York City, the 37th National Invitation Tournament was taking place. In the final, on March 25th, the Purdue Boilermakers were taking on the Utah Redskins for the championship. For 40 minutes, both teams fought tooth and nail and were tied at 72-72. But Purdue went on a 15-9 scoring tear and thus became the first Big Ten school to win an NIT crown.
Just under the 5-minute mark now as we go down to the line in this ball game. 72 all. Underneath, Parkinson fakes, shoots, scores! Great play that time, Parkinson for his second basket. 74-72. Jones with the ball on the wing. Back out behind the key now to Jonas. To Jones in the lane, lays it off right side. Minotti with the ball, can't shoot behind the key. Now to Jonas, wide open. His shot is no good. The rebound to Kendrick. Frank holds it up and hands it off to Bruce Parkinson. 4:27 to play in the ball game. Parkinson's going to be met at half court. Gets it away to Bruce Rose. Back to Parkinson. Parkinson holding it up in the middle to Rose. On the left wing to Kendrick. Kendrick with his back to the baseline. Turns, shoots. No. The rebound long. It goes to Purdue. Scheffler shoots. No good. Rebound Scheffler. No good. Tipped up by Kendrick. No good. Underneath. His layup is good by Bruce Parkinson. Purdue really fought and got that. 76-72, the biggest Purdue lead. The biggest lead right now. Burden, cross court on the right side to Jones. Jones back behind the key to Minotti. Minotti to Jones. He drives the baseline. He hooks one in from the baseline. Mike Scott Jones gets his first basket. The lead is 2, 76-74. Mike Steele down the left side to Park. Park cuts for the lane. His pass is to Rose. Rose back to Kendrick. Kendrick to Rose. Rose back to Kendrick.
Two Purdue subs ready to come in. Garrett and Jerry Thomas. Mike Steele drives underneath to Scheffler. No basket, a foul on the play. The free throw is up. Short. Rebound tipped away to Steele. He shoots. Got a basket. Steele with a good recovery. Got a basket. 78-74. 3:14 to play. Scott Jonas down the left side. Trying to get it loose. He does the Sojourner. A turnaround. No good. The rebound of Purdue. Gerald Thomas got it. And a foul on the play. The 1-and-1 for Gerald Thomas. It's up. It's good. Thomas will get the bonus shot. The lead is 5. Purdue's biggest lead. 3:03 to play. Jerry Thomas with a second one. Up. Good. Yes, I made it go back in there. It just rimmed around. 80-74. Purdue by 6. In the middle. Down to Burden. Burden on a drive. Baseline stolen. Tapped away picked up by Mike Steele. Steele and Gerald Thomas. And Purdue wants another timeout. Purdue with a basketball and a 6-point lead, 80-74. We have 1:59 to play. Kendrick, Garrett, Rose, Parkinson, and Steele is the lineup. Parkinson has the ball inbound. He's going to back across midcourt against Scott Jonas. 1:52 to play. Steele has the ball. Now to Kendrick. Purdue starts the rotation in the middle to Garrett. Garrett at the high post. Now over to Bruce Rose. Rose pushed there, gets his dribble, trying to go to the baseline, gets underneath, fakes. His shot blocked, taken off on the rebound by Garrett. He shoots and scores. Garrett with a great play, got his 8th basket, 82-74. Here's a drive by Jones. Now to Burden. He shoots, no good. The rebound off to Bruce Rose. Rose down to Parkinson. Purdue showing that poise now. Parkinson has the ball, trying to get across half court. Bumps into Jonas. No call on the play. Deep in the left corner to Rose. Rose takes it out of the corner back to Parkinson. 1:08 to play in the ball game. Parkinson to Steele. Steele takes his dribble, goes around the top of the key. Now to Bruce Rose.
We're going to win it,
Rose
Henry.
takes it. Now to Kendrick. Kendrick holds it up at the timeline. He's peeled from the ball. No foul. Back to Parkinson. 54 seconds to play. Underneath to Rose. He doesn't shoot. Back to Steele, to Parkinson. Back to Steele, and the crowd loves it. The clock is running. 45 seconds to play, and Kendrick is fouled by Scott Jones. Purdue's going to win the NIT with 44 seconds to go. They have an 8-point lead, and the Boilermakers are going to take home that big silver trophy for Jerry Nichols. Here's the free throw. Kendrick got it. Frank just drilled his 8th out of 10 tries. Scott Jonas takes it across the timeline down the right side. Underneath the Sojourner baseline shot. Yes, he got it. Sojourner with his 10th basket. 83-76, 33 seconds to play. Bruce Rose double team, gets a lob pass away. To Steele, he can't hold on to it. Terry has the basketball. To Jonas. Jonas drives, runs over a man. The basket will count on an offensive foul. No. The foul is against Purdue. Jeff Jonas scores. It's 83-78, a 5-point lead with 22 seconds to play. And in the last few seconds, they've let mayhem go on out on court. And you can believe that Utah will be all over this inbounds play. There's the free throw, good. 82-379. Here's the pass. It comes to Kendrick. Kendrick has his pass tipped away, taken by Steele. Down court to Park, a layup, good. Great play as Steele saved it. 85-79, 11 seconds. The shot, Burden, no good. Rebound to Steele, and he is really whacked into the board. And now Mike Steele will be at the free throw line. He makes the first one good. 86-79, he'll have the bonus shot. Here's the second one, good. 87-79, 7 seconds, 6, 5, you'll hear him count. A long shot is good by Terry, and the ball is out of bounds. The game is over. Doug Terry got his 3rd basket, and Purdue takes the ball game 87-81.
So now, as the bitter winds of winter turn to the gentle breezes of spring, on strode the game of baseball. And with it, just on the horizon, came one of the greatest moments in the world of sports. There is nothing quite like the start of a baseball season. It seems to serve as the official emissary for the arrival of spring. Gone are the dreary days of winter. Beckoning are the blissful days of summer. But the start of the 1974 baseball season was something special. It was something the hearts and minds of the sports world had waited anxiously for. Henry Aaron was on the threshold of equaling the most sacred of all sports records, Babe Ruth's career total of 714 home runs. The season officially opened on Thursday, April 4th, with the Atlanta Braves meeting the Cincinnati Reds. Over 50,000 fans, including then Vice President of the United States Gerald Ford, were on hand at Cincinnati's Riverfront Stadium.
Runners lead. Billingham stretches and pitches. Swung on, driven, deep left field. Back goes Rose. He's at the track, just falling, going, and it's gone. 7-14. Hank Aaron on his first at bat here at Riverfront, and over 50,000 on their feet. And the whole team coming to home plate.
Good luck for 7-15 and a good many more. It's a great day for you. It's a great day for baseball. The best to you. Vice President, Commissioner, Mr. Babalaman, I certainly would like to say thank you very much, and I'm just glad it's almost over with. Thank you.
Then, some 4 days later, before another packed house in the Braves' home opener at Atlanta, Aaron's date with destiny had arrived.
And here is Henry Aaron. This crowd is up all around. The pitch to him, bounced it up there, and it's ball one. Henry Aaron in the second inning walked and scored. He's sitting on 7-14. Here's the pitch by Downing. Swinging. There's a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here. It's gone. It's 7-15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron. The fireworks are going. Henry Aaron is coming around third. His teammates are at home plate, and listen to this crowd. Crowd is cheering Henry Aaron, the home run king of all time. 7-15 came on a ball one, no strike count. It was into left center. Bill Buckner, the left fielder, tried to go up and get it. He climbed the fence. He couldn't get it. The ball was into the grass, just to the right of the bullpen. And this ball game is tied on the strength of the record-setting home run by Henry Aaron. How about that?
While Aaron was making history, the worlds of pro basketball and hockey were winding down their seasons. In the NBA, the Boston Celtics returned to former glories by winning the NBA championship. In a matchup of the two best teams in the league, the Celtics defeated the Milwaukee Bucks in 7 games. It was a hard-fought series, with each team exhibiting some of the finest basketball ever seen. Like the night of May 10th in game number 6 at Boston Garden. The Celtics led in the series 3-2, were hoping to wrap it up in front of the home fans. The Bucks were battling for survival. After regulation and an overtime period could not resolve the issue, both teams went into a second overtime and put on one of the greatest spurts ever, matching basket for basket right down to the buzzer.
Cheney starts to go, gives it out to White. Joe holding it, guarded by Robertson. On a cut to Havlicek, there it is. And there's a foul on Dandridge. A foul on Dandridge. And he is raging at Mindy Rudolph. And Perry has to pull him away. John Havlicek at the line here in the second overtime. It's 92-92. The shot is good. And Boston leads by a point. 3:14 left in the overtime. Now to Davis on the left sideline. Robertson down to Jamar. Jamar holding it. Jamar the hook. It's good. Cheney with the ball. Up top. Looking. On the right now to Havlicek. Baseline over Jamar. Bang! 95-94. Boston leading by a point again. Davis bringing the ball up. Davis looking. Davis backing up. It goes on the right sideline to Robertson. Robertson baseline for the fall away. That's good. 96-95. Boston trailing by a point again. JoJo, corner. Swing! And Boston leads 97-96. 2:05 Robertson, the drive, the runner is good. 98-97, Boston trailing by one. Havlicek getting away. There's the shot. Bang! Boston leads by one, 99-98. An incredible performance. Robertson over the line to the left. Robertson holding it. Jabbar backing up. Jabbar. And what is it? It's on Collins, and he's out of the game. Back out now to Dandridge. Quickly it goes over to Davis. Davis looking, guarded by White. Davis trying to come down. It's down to 3. Davis throws the ball away. Picked up by Perry. And 24-second clock beat him. Joe White, a fantastic exhibition of defense. He did not give Davis a half an inch. Havlicek, baseline. Robertson knocks it out of bounds. And Andy Rudolph says it's off John's foot out of bounds. Robertson gets it in now to Dandridge. Dandridge trying to outrun Havlicek. Dandridge looking. Now to Robertson. He drops it. Picks it up. Gets it to Dandridge. Dandridge is coming to the basket. 33 seconds left. 10 on the shooting clock. Dandridge. Cheney on him. And White goes to Davis. Davis shoots and hits. Boston is now trailing by one, 199. It's down to 18 seconds. And back out to Cheney. Cheney looking. Now to Havlicek. He's baseline. He shoots. It's good. With 7 seconds left, John. And Boston leads 101 to 100. 7 seconds left. All right, Robertson in at Jabbar. Turn. Starts to go. The hook is good. 3 seconds left. And now Milwaukee leads. Boston calls timeout as Milwaukee leads 102-101. Joe White getting ready to put it in play. Costello smelled something. It goes to Westfall, back to White. There's the long bomb. No good, and the buzzer goes off, and Milwaukee has won it.
However, the Celtics, showing that great pride that is a part of their rich tradition, bounced back and won the 7th game and the championship.
Once again, the crowd boos as Boston gets the ball. A running hook by Collins over Jabbar. 73-68, Boston leading by 5. Robertson has it on the left. Robertson back out now to Perry. Now to Robertson. Robertson fakes and fires. It's a bad shot. The rebound, Silas. The quick out to Havlicek, a 2-on-1. Underneath to White, he lays it in. So it's 75-68, Boston leading by 7. All right, the tip. Batted around, goes to Havlicek. The down-court pass deflected. Westfall gets it and lays it in. A spinner underneath on Perry by Westfall. Boston leading 9, 77-68. Robertson coming around to the left. Robertson looking. Robertson up top now to Davis. Davis in the right corner to Perry. Perry holds the ball. Perry fires up and misses. The rebound by Silas. Silas bringing that ball up. Silas comes to the right. Back out now to Havlicek. Back on the right to Silas. He fakes, drives, lays it up. Blocked, and it's goaltending. Boston has a basket on that for Silas. It was goaltending. 79-68, Boston leading 11. 98-83, Boston is leading. Now underneath, Artie Williams gives to Hankinson, and he lays it in. And the youngster gets the playoff goal. 100-83. Boy, he's all smiles when he came back down the court. 31 seconds left. Everybody crowded around the Boston bench. John Havlicek has been named the most valuable player of the World Series by Sport Magazine. And Artie Williams makes the first and the second. 102-85, 25 seconds left. Boston has regained the World Championship. 8 seconds left. We will be talking to you from the dressing room when this is over. Fritz Williams lays it in. All right, now Garrett steals the ball. 1 second. And he misses, and that's it. It's history. The Boston Celtics have won the World Championship in 1974. The final score here in Milwaukee. Boston 102, Milwaukee 87.
In the NHL, parity was finally reached as the Philadelphia Flyers became the first expansion team to win the Stanley Cup. Matched against the Boston Bruins in the final round, the Flyers were long shots at best. But after dropping the opening game, the Flyers dominated the series the rest of the way. Leading 3-2, the Flyers brought the cup to the city of brotherly love on Sunday, May 19th. Playing before the home crowd, the Flyers beat Boston 1-0. Rick McLeish got the only goal the Flyers would need when he tipped home a shot by Andre Dupont at 14:48 of the first period.
Back to Dupont, goes to the forehand, flips on the net, scores! Goes Dupont for a case of face to take, and it may have hit someone on the way in, but it's 1-0 Philadelphia. It looked as though it changed direction. Hit a Bruin or hit a Flyer, it's hard to tell. But at any rate, a power play goal, the third on Stanley Cup play for the Flyers. Time of the goal comes at 14:48, and the Flyers now own a 1-0 lead despite being outshot 14-6 thus far.
From that point on, the Flyers relied on their defense and goalie Bernie Parent to carry them the rest of the way. The Bruins put up a valiant fight, but their last ray of hope went down the drain when, with under 3 minutes left to play, Boston's big gun Bobby Orr went off for a holding penalty.
2:40 left in regulation play as it goes to Cashman. Playing on the near side to Hodge with a shot. And a marvelous save by Perron on the long side as Barber plays it up to Chris. And now he's got Clark on a breakaway. Clark going in. He spun around and Orr will go off with just 2:23 remaining in the game. Orr for holding Bobby Clark. And now Orr is furious at Art Stove, and he was held off by Hodge.
Then it was just a question of counting down the seconds.
Now it comes to center as Orr is out there with 15 seconds. Puck goes to Barber down into the Boston zone. 13 seconds left in the game. 10 seconds. Orr shoots it down the ice. Perron makes the save. Ladies and gentlemen, the Flyers are going to win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers have won the Stanley Cup.
One of the biggest sports events of any year is the Kentucky Derby, and 1974 was no different. Celebrating its 100th running, the Derby had its largest field ever, 23 horses. After getting off to a sluggish start and surviving 2 bumpings, Cannonade roared down the stretch to win the Centennial Run for the Roses.
They round the turn. We can barely see the Silks because of the crowd, but it's Triple Crown, Hudson County, then Destroyer, and Cannonade is now making a big move. They round the turn, nearing the stretch. Triple Crown, Hudson County, Cannonade now. Nearing the stretch, a quarter of a mile to go. Cannonade has the lead. On the outside, it's Destroyer. They're in the stretch. Cannonade holding on to that lead. Hudson County on the inside. It is Cannonade showing the way through the stretch. Cannonade has the lead. Hudson County agitates. It's Cannonade out in front. Hudson County agitates J.R. Tet. There's the wire. It's Cannonade the winner. Hudson County second. Then it was agitate J.R. Tet Destroyer. On the outside, it was Little Kern. In this big field of 23 and 160,000 people are shouting and screaming. Photographers running across the track as this 100th Kentucky Derby was won by Cannonade, ridden by Angel Cordero Jr. And the running time was 2 minutes, 4 seconds flat over a fast track.
However, there would be no Triple Crown winner this year, for 2 weeks later at the Preakness, Little Current would wipe out the field at Pimlico. Meanwhile, the world of baseball was enjoying a banner season. Hank Aaron's record accomplishments seemed to set off a fuse of action that saw records and milestones reached at an unheard-of pace. In St. Louis, Lou Brock shattered Maury Will's 12-year-old record of 104 stolen bases in one season, and his teammate Bob Gibson reached a major milestone by becoming only the second Major League pitcher to strike out 3,000 batters in a career.
Pitch coming, a swing and a miss. He struck him out. And that's 3,000 for Bob Gibson against the standing ovation here at Busch Stadium.
In the American League, Steve Busby of the Kansas City Royals became the first pitcher to hurl no-hitters in his first 2 Major League seasons. In 1973, he cuffed the Detroit Tigers. In 1974, it would be the Milwaukee Brewers' turn.
2-0 Royals. Right-hander against right-hander. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball popped up. Who wants it? Rojas, very appropriately under the ball. A no-hitter. Steve Murphy has pitched his second Major League no-hitter. He's being mobbed between first and second base. The crowd here at County Stadium standing and applauding the Royals' 24-year-old right-hander. And how appropriate it is, the final out being recorded by Cookie Rojas, the man who saved the no-hitter with 2 out in the 8th. He took a sure base hit away from Bob Hansen, and it paves the way for the Royals' 24-year-old right-hander's second Major League no-hitter.
And in Detroit, Al Kaline, veteran star of the Detroit Tigers, was closing out his career in brilliant fashion by becoming only the 12th man in Major League history to record 3,000 hits in a career. Hit number 3,000 came on the night of September 24th in Al's native city of Baltimore.
Al bounced out to Belanger at short his first time up. The pitch is swung on. There's a drive down to right field into the corner. It'll be in for a base hit. Maybe extra bases. Al is digging for second. He's in with a stand-up double. A 2-base hit for Al Kaline. Hit number 3,000 in his fabulous career of 22 years as a member of the Tigers. Listen to this standing ovation. Crowd still standing, cheering Al Kaline, who now leaves second base. Time is called, and a special presentation will be made to the 12th man in the history of Major League Baseball to collect 3,000 hits in a Major League career.
But while Major League Baseball was enjoying one of its finest seasons, the National Football League was getting off to a rocky start. First, the creation of the World Football League and the supposed defection by a number of star players had league officials worried. This, compounded by a player strike, forced NFL teams to open their preseason schedules with lineups composed of rookies and free agents. But through this maze of grief and despair came that sad summer day when Johnny Unitas, Mr. Quarterback, the NFL's all-time passing leader, decided to hang them up.
I have made the decision to retire from the game of football. I had a long talk with Coach Profro, and I understand his feelings on the situation, that he's starting a new program here, and that he has 2 young fellows who are coming in here who are going to be good quarterbacks in the near future. And I think that he has a situation that he's going to love with 2 young fellows who will be fighting for the position, which could only make them better. I just didn't feel that my legs are capable of standing in and taking the punishment that they're going to have to take in order to play. I went out and tried to work out for 4 or 5 days, and my knee swelled up, and I popped it one time, and it's been sore. And to stay there and continue to play, continue to try to play and do the things that I was once able to do would just be foolish. Plus, it would be taking up a time on the field where it could be used for better purposes for the younger fellas.
One of the highlights of any sports year is the World Series. That 1 week in October when all the problems of the world seem secondary to the outcome of baseball's Fall Classic. The 1974 series was billed as one of the most evenly matched in recent memory. However, in reality, it was anything but, as the Oakland A's dominated the Los Angeles Dodgers in 5 games. Although the scores were fairly close, the 2-time defending world champion A's showed poise and savvy in crucial situations, while the youthful Dodgers reflected their inexperience in similar circumstances. In Game 1, the A's took an early 1-0 lead on a Reggie Jackson home run.
Jackson was out of the ballpark at 8 o'clock this morning, taking Whirlpool cortisone shots for a pulled hamstring muscle. He was a designated hitter in the playoffs. It doesn't go in the World Series. So he has to run now and play the outfield. And can't come up there. That long drive to deep left going and gone. Jackson is homer to the opposite field. The kind of power that he has, he hits some of the longer shots in baseball. And that's the kind of power that he had in last year's World Series. Well, the A's are on the board. They lead 1-0.
But they actually won the game by being able to take full advantage of a Ron Say error.
Bando flied to left and struck out twice. 0-1. Big chopper. Shea goes up to get it. Sets and throws low and throws it away. And that's a 1 in a million play. Here comes Campaneris to score. And going all the way to third is Bando, and he's saved.
In Game 2, the Dodgers won their only game of the series 3-2, thanks to Joe Ferguson's powerful bat.
2 balls and a strike. There's a blast. Boy, that ball's hit. Way back. Gone! The plate. Ferguson's pitch that he wanted, and he blasted it to deep straightaway center. The Dodgers lead 3-0.
Game 3 was once again decided by a 3-2 score, this time with the A's on top. Some poor Dodger fielding paved the way for 2 runs, but the actual game winner came in the 4th inning with a runner on second and Bert Campaneris at the plate.
Campaneris again played as a full hitter. Green at second, 2 down. And here's a base hit into center. Green is rounding third. Wynn with a sore elbow. And Bortz to throw. Not in time. Gets by. We'll throw the cutoff man. There goes Campaneris to third. Ferguson, the catcher, went out to meet that throw. And nobody was backing up. And advancing to third was Campaneris.
Game 4 turned out to be the pivotal one for the Dodgers. A win here would have guaranteed a trip back to Los Angeles. The Dodgers were leading in the ball game by a 2-1 score when the A's exploded for 4 runs in the 6th inning on their way to a 5-2 win. The big hit of the inning, a bases-loaded pinch single by Jim Holt.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pinch hitter, Jim Holt. The 2-2 delivery. There's a base hit into right field. Bando is scoring. Here comes Jackson. The throw. It is. He's safe.
The A's finished off the Dodgers in game number 5. With the score tied at 2-2, play was halted when Dodger left fielder Bill Buckner became the target for some missiles fired by unruly A's fans. Once peace was restored, Joe Rudy stepped in and promptly sent a missile of his own in the direction of those surly A's faithful.
Well, we're set to go in the last of the 7th. World Series game number 5 is tied at 2-all. Joe Rudy's the batter. And everything's quieted down again. The A's have not scored since the 2nd, and Ray Fosse homered. There's a long drive. Part of the home run is during the delay of the game when the object was thrown in left field. Mike Marshall did not take 1 warm-up pitch. So the A's have the lead back again, 3-2. That ball was really smashed by Rudy.
In the 8th inning, the Dodgers had a chance to get something started, but Bill Buckner gambled and the Dodgers were finished.
Buckner lines it into right center, and the Dodgers have the tying run on. Ball gets away, and on to second. North played that casually. He's coming on to third to throw. Out! Boy, there's a play we'll be talked about. North let the ball get away from him as he played it casually out there. Jackson backed it up, and Dick Green made the throw.
From that point on, A's ace reliever Rollie Fingers settled down and brought Oakland their 3rd straight world championship.
Von Joshua's up. If the A's win this game, they'll go immediately to the Oakland A's locker room
hesitation. Here it could be. Got it. And the A's are the world champions. Raleigh Fingers put them down 1-2-3. The Oakland A's are the first team since the New York Yankees to win 3 world championships in a row. The Yankees won 5 in a row from 49 to 53. And the A's wiped the Dodgers out 3 in a row in their home ballpark.
There you have it in a nutshell. Sports in 74. And while the world around us appears to be ripping at the seams, while our daydreams of yesterday seem to be turning into horrors today, one thing remains constant. No matter how turbulent the times, no matter how depressing the situation, the world of sports is there to entertain and thrill us all, to help us recapture a little of our lost youth, rekindle our spirits, and give us hope for brighter days ahead.